Thank you. Give me a thumbs up once you have this up and you're able to mark on it so that I know, so we can move on. And did you bring me rubber bands today? Why do you have a bag of rubber bands? Are those rubber bands or those noodles?
It's noodle.
Bracelets. I let Gabby get the
Pardon
thing,
the interruption.
and
The
she's
rest
not
of the
here
eighth
today,
grade
so
students who have already paid for pictures, please report to the auditorium. Thank you.
All right, so we are reviewing for our expressions and equations Unit 6 test today. Some of these questions you have seen before because they came from your mid-assessment, and some of them you have not seen yet. So we are going to go through these together. We're going to annotate them just like I hope you would do if this was a real test. You can also use this to help you review and just, again, look at stuff as you're hopefully studying for your test that possibly is going to start tomorrow.
what's her name?
All right, yes. Huh?
What's her name? What's her date or tomorrow?
What? No, not today. No, it'll be tomorrow or Friday. Because we technically are testing through Monday. So if we need to review a little bit more tomorrow, we will. Yes.
And they glow. These two.
That's very nice. That's quite interesting. And then an alien.
Is it a cactus?
No, it's a monster.
Okay. All right. Put them away.
Back on the subject.
We're focusing on math right now. Yes, ma'am.
Most likely won't be here on Monday.
Then you'll probably have to finish your test on Friday. Or maybe start it on Thursday during intervention. All right. So starting with number 1, it says which expression is equivalent to 3x plus 6y plus 3. All right, so what is important in this question that we need to annotate? Okay, and that is telling us what? Sorry. Right, you're not solving it. You're essentially finding an expression that is what? Equivalent or equal to. All right, and you guys need to be highlighting this on your iPads. So if I'm highlighting and writing, you need to be highlighting and writing. All right, so we've learned a couple different things, and I apologize that it is not up there yet. It'll be up there today. But how do we find something that's equivalent to 3x plus 6y plus 3? Could we use our answer choices to maybe help us kind of gear us towards what we're supposed to do? All right, so let's look at D to start with. 12xy. Why can that not be a question or an answer to our question? Ben?
Because we're not looking for an answer, we're looking for an equivalent or an equivalent expression.
Right, so we're not looking for an answer, so that could possibly be an answer. But why else does D not work for us?
Because it has that XY domination thing on it.
Right, and can we combine like terms if they're different? No, so this one cannot work, and then essentially we can use that same reasoning for this one as well. And how do we know that X and Y are not like terms? How do we know? Sophia? Because they have different variables. All right, so now you're left with A and you're left with B. What type of answer choices are A and B? Like what, so we know it's not combining like terms. We're not solving to get the answer. There's one thing that you learned about, it's 2 words, that tells you, that describes what A and B are. Right, so this is distributive property, right here. And essentially, the easiest way to solve these two problems is to distribute your 3 back into all the numbers. So what would be 3 times x? What would that become? 10?
3x.
All right, what is 3 times 2y? It's 3 times 2y. I need someone other than these 3.5 people today. Cam? No, 3 times 2y.
6y?
This becomes 6y. Because remember, guys, you're just multiplying the numbers, and then if it's got a variable, you're adding that on. And then the last one, what's 3 times 1? 3. Okay? So that actually looks just like the original problem in our question, correct? All right, but let's just make sure that we do this one correct too. And just to check. So what is 3 times x? What's 3 times x, Soraya? What is 3 times 6y? Abby? And what is 3 times 3? 9. So which one looks just like this one? A or B? Kira? A. So that is how you essentially solve a problem like this. So it's asking for an equivalent expression, and you see distributive property. Distribute that number into your parentheses and see which one you get that is the same. Okay, does that make sense? You guys should be writing this down in your notebook. So like what I'm writing here, essentially write it in your notebook. Like, yes, I want you to annotate and write these words, but I want you to ultimately be solving this in your notebook. Does that make sense? Is that a plus or a divide? It's a plus. Okay. All right, so I rewrote this just so it was a little bit easier to see. And again, in your notebook, you have number 1 here. So number 2, you're going to write 2 plus 3 squared divided by 5. And then as we go through, you're going to solve. So the question on this one says, what is the value of 2 plus 3 squared divided by 5? So what's important in our question? Andrew, what's important in the question? All right, what does value mean? Huh? Or the, yeah. So this is asking you for an answer, which means you're solving this problem. All right, and then what type of question is this? What type of question is this? Like, how are we going to solve this problem? Bryson? Yeah. So over here, I'm going to write my PEM/DA/S. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to check these off as I go. So do I have parentheses?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do my parentheses first. So what is 2 plus 3? 5. So this becomes 5 squared divided by 5. Do I have an exponent?
Yeah.
Lily?
Yes, there is an exponent in it. 25.
But how do am I doing 5 times 2 or am I doing 5 times 5?
5 times 5.
So this becomes 5 times 5. So then I have 25 divided by 5. Do I have multiplication or division? Which one do I have, Levy? Which one do I have? Huh? Okay. So I'm going to divide. What's 25 divided by 5? And then I don't have addition or subtraction because that is my answer. So the answer to this one is 5. For whose class? So I'm sorry. Are those notebooks for math and science or are they for ELA and social studies? Boy, get out of my class. I will punch you in the throat. You better grab one and get out of my class. I'm tired of supplying y'all with everything. Had to. Just a mistake. No, that might have hurt him. I don't want to hurt him.
That would have given.
All right, let's refocus. All right, so the next one says, what is the value of x squared minus 4 plus 6 if x equals 4? So what are we doing here? Or, sorry, what's important in this question? Elizabeth?
Value,
All right, what does value mean?
the total or the amount,
Or answer?
yeah.
Okay? How are we going to solve this problem? What do we have to do here? Because it's a little bit different from the previous one. Andrew? Right, so you have to substitute that information in first. So when we rewrite this, we have x squared minus 4 plus 6. We know that x equals 4. So we're going to rewrite it and we're going to substitute in our 4 for x. So we're going to do 4 squared minus 4 plus 6. And then from here, what type of question do we have? Look at the one above it. Huh? Mm-hmm. All right, so again, we're going to go through the process. Do we have parentheses here? Nope, so I'm going to cross that off. Do I have exponents here? I do. All right, so Faith, question. How do we solve exponents? I'm going to do 4 times 4. Why am I not doing 4 times 2? You're right. You do 4 times 4, but why don't we do 4 times 2? Right. So essentially, because you take whatever that number is, the small one, and it's telling you to multiply your big number by itself however many times. So what is 4 times 4? Ariana? All right, so I have 16 minus 4 plus 6. So I've gotten rid of my exponents. Do I have any multiplication or division? Monty? Do I have any multiplication or division in this one right here?
Yeah.
I do? I have multiplication or division? Bless you. So what operation is that? Is that subtraction? So if we're looking here, because we're done with this part, this is our new problem that we're looking at. This is subtraction, this is addition. So do I have any multiplication or division? Nope. So I can cross those two out. All right, and then I'm going to do, I have both addition and subtraction. So I'm going to do my addition first and then my subtraction, right? Why not, Kira?
Because you have to go from left, right?
Right, so you go left to right, whatever comes first. Do not do this and then do that. You're going to do 16 minus 4, which gives me what? Savannah? And then 12 plus 6? gives me 18. All right, so the correct answer for that one would be D. Whenever you start your Unit 6 test, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's Friday, I need you to just take your time and really just go through the steps and go slow. Does that mean you spend 45 minutes on one problem? No, but we're not rushing through this, are we? We're thinking about what we're doing, we're asking our questions, obviously we're reviewing, but this is kind of what I want you to be doing as well when you're taking your test. Does that make sense? Yes, Miss Kenny, of course it does. All right, number 4 says, what is the value of 4 squared plus 3 squared times 2 divided by 2? So what's important in this question? What is the value of 4 squared plus 3 squared times 2 divided by 2? It's important. Ramon?
The value,
Okay. What does that mean?
like the answer column.
So we're finding the answer. All right, we're going to rewrite this problem. Oh, that's 4 squared plus 3 to the third. Sorry, not 2 squared. I don't know what I'm doing over here. All right, so what type of question is this then? What type of question is this, Callie? All right, so it's another PEMDAS. Do you have to write PEMDAS on the side of your paper?
Yes and no.
I mean, technically, no, you don't, but it's definitely helpful. But if you're good to go and you understand order of operation, you don't have to. But if you struggle with remembering what to do, it's a super easy thing just to keep you on track. All right, so do we have parentheses? Yes, we do. So I'm going to cover up everything else. How do you do order of operations, or how do you do PEMDAS inside parentheses? Huh?
That's A plus sign.
Thank you. How do you do PEMDAS inside parentheses? Like, how do I know what to do first? Like, am I adding? Am I subtracting? What's the thought process I need to have when I'm looking at this part of my problem? Sophia? So you essentially do order of operation inside the parentheses as well. So you just stay right with it. Okay, so we're going to do our exponents first. So this is going to become 4 times 4, and this is going to become 3 times 3, right? Abby?
You don't multiply twice, you multiply 3 times 3 times 3.
Why?
Because the exponent says 3, so you multiply it 3 times.
But I multiplied it by 3.
No, because your exponent has 3, you just multiply the number 3 times.
You're right. That's why I keep you around. All right, so when we do 4 times 4, what do we get? It's 4 times 4. Indira? All right, and then what's 3 times 3 times 3? Ben? It's 3 times 3.
3 is 9.
9 times 3.
9 times 3 is 27.
Mhm. Okay. So I haven't gotten rid of my parentheses though, have I? So do I still have to be looking inside and say, okay, well, what do I do next? And it's still not here yet. So what do I do now? Cam? What am I gonna do now, babe? $16 plus 27, which is gonna give me what, 43? Times 2 divided by 2. So I've done parentheses, I've done my exponents. What do I do now? Savannah?
43 times 2.
So I do multiplication and division, right? And I'm doing multiplication because that comes first, or because that's what I do first?
That's what you do.
No matter where it's at? Right. So I'm doing multiplication first because that's what comes first from left to right. Just remember that. All right, so when I do 43 times 3, I get 86 divided by 2. And this should be kind of easy because you just multiplied, so now you're just dividing, and you already have your answer in here, which is 43. For those of you that are doing lots of different things right now, I sure hope you are paying attention in the midst of your playing with whatever you're playing with. All right, so questions about order of operation questions. Yes, ma'am.
On the test, I don't know if I'm just tripping, or I thought that number 2 was difficult, because I thought it was a fraction, but it might have been division.
So when you're looking at questions that, especially order of operation questions, if it's got a big line like that, that line means division. This is a fraction, but when it's got a big long line, or like you've got 2 squared line and then 5, that's telling you that it's 2 squared divided by 5. So whenever you have more than just a number on top, it's going to be a division symbol rather than a fraction. Okay, so good question. All right, any other questions about order of operation? All right, so we're gonna slide over and we're gonna do number 5. All right, so number 5 says, which equation is true when x equals 5? So in this thing, which equation is true and it gives you the value of x, you essentially are doing what to solve this problem? What do you have to do to solve this problem? Andrew? So you're replacing x in each one of these problems, and then you're figuring out which one is true. Okay, so there's really no easy way around this other than just substituting in and solving. So that is what we're going to do. A would be 3 times 5 minus 5 plus 4 equals 14. So
May I have your attention, please? All 7th grade students who have prepaid for your pictures, please report to the auditorium at this time. All 7th grade students who have prepaid your pictures, please report to the auditorium. Thank you.
So when we're looking at this question, I don't want you to look at the equal 14. I want you to look at the problem. What operation or what process are we doing to solve this problem? We're doing PEMDAS. So we're still in PEMDAS questions, but it's a little bit different. So am I going to do the multiplication, the subtraction, or the addition first? Abby? So I'm going to do 3 times 5, which is 15, minus 5 plus 4. So now do I do my addition or my subtraction first? Kira? I'm going to do my subtraction. So 15 minus 5 is 10 plus 4 equals what? Abby? 14. So right now, A is looking like the true answer, right? Okay. We have to check all of them. Bless you. So the next one is 7 times 5 equals 75. This one we really shouldn't have to do much with because what's 7 times 5?
35.
All right, so does 35 equal 75? No. So we know it is not B, so we're going to go ahead and cross off B. C, we have 8 plus 4 times 5 equals 28. All right, well, again, how do we solve this problem? Caitlin, how am I going to solve C? What's the process though? Like what are we doing to solve this problem? What's it called? So we're doing PEMDAS. So yes, we're gonna do inside the parentheses, what's 8 plus 4? All right, and 12 times 5?
60.
All right, does 60 equal 28?
Oh, no.
Nope. Alright, so we know it's not C, so we can cross off C. And the last one, 6 times 5 plus 3 times 5 equals 225. So someone walk me through, what do I do with this one? Alright, Bryson.
So you do 6 times 5, and then you do 3 times 5, and then add your two answers that you got, and then
Okay, well, what's 6 times 5?
30.
Okay, what's 3 times 5? What's 30 plus 15?
45.
Does 45 equal 225? Alright, so then we know that our answer for this one is A. Which, yes, we knew that right away. However, is it important for you to check? Yes, it is. All right, we are gonna skip 6 and 7 because you're actually not gonna see questions like that on the test. We're gonna move over to number 8. All right, number 8 says, Jamie is making bread with rye flour and wheat flour using a total of 3.5 cups of flour. If she has 1.5 cups of wheat flour, which equation represents how many cups of rye flour are needed to make the bread? So what's important in this question? Okay, so we know that the total right here, that's how much she has of flour. What else is important, Soraya?
The amount of cups of wheat flour.
The what?
The amount of cups of wheat flour.
Okay, so we know that she has 1.5 cups of wheat flour. All right, what else is important? Brielle, what else is important?
How many cups of rye flour are needed?
More than that.
Which equation represents?
So this whole part right here is important because it's essentially telling us how we're going to answer this question. Is it asking us to solve? Is it asking us to solve this question? No, it's not. It's asking us to identify the equation. So Levy told us that 3.5 is our total. So looking at my answer choices, is there any one that I can get rid of? Knowing that 3.5 is the total. Addie. Yes. Why can I get rid of D? Right. So if 3.5 is our total, we're not adding it. We're trying to figure out what we're going to get that for our answer. All right. So now you have A, you have B, and you have C. Stand up if you say A is the correct answer. R minus 1/2 equals 3.5. So why do none of us say that R is the correct answer? Or sorry, A, not R. Kira?
Because we know that 3.5 is the total, and if you're subtracting from 1.5, then it's just going backwards in numbers.
Right, so you're actually not going to get, like, it's going to be bigger, essentially, than your total. Okay? So A is not the correct answer. All right, stand up if you picked B. R plus half, 1.5 equals 3.5. All right, why did we pick B as our answer? Someone other than Kira. Lily, why'd you pick B?
Because since subtraction, you're trying to find that thing.
Do we know our total?
Yes.
Do we know part of our Oh, alright, so then, we know we're not subtracting to get the other part, then we obviously have to be doing what? Addition. So you're gonna add however much rye flour you have to the number of, wheat flour, and that will give you total number of flour. So B is the correct answer. Why are we not multiplying? Anybody know why we're not multiplying? Andrew? Say it again. All right. Hold on real quick. I gotta do the agenda before I yell it. Raise your hand if you're missing somebody from your group. You're missing. Gabby and Joe.
But I think Gabby won't be here yet because her list isn't here, because mine isn't here.
Okay. Okay, let's go on to the next question. So number 9 says, in 2 days, Megan has read 62 pages of James and the Giant Peach. The book has 194 pages. If P represents the number of pages Megan has left to read, which equation represents the situation? All right, so what's important in here? Bryson?
Megan is at 62 pages.
All right, so she's read 62 pages. What else is important, Levy?
Book has 194 pages.
And what is that telling us?
That's the total.
Okay.
If P represents the number of pages Megan has left to read, this equation represents the situation.
All right, so are we solving for this problem? Nope, we are simply trying to come up with an equation. All right, so if 94 is our total, can we get rid of any of these answer choices? Isabella, can I get rid of A, B, C, or D with knowing that 94 is our total? Which ones? Mhm. And? All right, so why can we get rid of both B and C? Why can we get rid of B and C? Well, technically, we may not be able to get rid of B, but we'll talk about that in a second. Why could we definitely get rid of C? Say it that way.
Because 132 is in 194, so, and it doesn't show anything about that in the questions.
Right. So essentially, C is saying 2P equals 132. I know we should know where they got 132 from, but if we multiply 2 times P equals, it's not gonna work out. All right, B, we could possibly use, so I might retract that statement, but let's look at the other 2 that we have left. Can we get rid of A? Can we get rid of A? Why? Why not? I have a question. Where's the 2 times P coming from? Where in our information did it say that we're essentially finding twice the number of something? Does it say that in there? Oh, so you mean we forgot something that was super important? Is the 2 days important? Stand up if you think it's important. Okay, so someone tell me why it's important.
It shows that she read
Do we know how much she read in 2 days? So, does it matter? We already know how much she's read in 2 days, right? So the 2P does not matter. You have something to say?
And it also doesn't say, each day.
Right, and it's not asking you.
Can I have your attention, please? Students from bus 356 have just arrived. Students from bus 356 have just arrived.
Does anybody have picture money today? Or has paid for
I was
pictures?
supposed to call my mom to ask her if she paid for it yet, because she said she was doing it online.
Okay, well, you need to hurry up and call. You've already paid for it? All right, go to the auditorium. Anybody else? Oh, hold on, wait, what? Sure. What'd you say, Ariana? So you're supposed to take pictures today? Yes, you can. And paid for them? Do you need to call her? Okay, get on your cell phone real quick, call her. Call real quick. All right, yes. Yeah, if you have a cell phone, just get out, call real quick, because I only have one phone, and I don't want to interrupt too much. All right, so as Sophia was saying, it's not asking us for each day, so we can get rid of A for sure. So remember how I said this one might be important, so I'm going to rewrite this one because I feel like I might actually be using this as an answer choice. So now I have 194 minus P equals 62, and I have 132 minus P equals 94. Which one makes more sense? Lily? B makes more sense. So B is actually the correct answer. And this is why it is important to definitely use those key words and information, but also to not just assume if you've crossed it out that you can't bring it back. Because originally, 94 minus P equals 62 didn't necessarily go with what the information told us, right? Because we know that 94 was our total. So just be careful when you're doing that. All right, so for this one, B is the correct answer. Nobody wants your picture? No, I don't know. Oh, Lord, yeah. All right, we're going to keep going, though. Go ahead. Oh, no, she's still on the phone. I didn't realize that. All right, so number 10 says, Juan grew 2 inches in the past year. If he is X inches tall today, which equation shows Y, how tall Juan was 1 year ago? All right, so what's important in this question? Soraya? Okay. All right, what else is important?
That if he is X inches, and also, I forgot my phone.
Bryson? Yes.
Do you have the codes for the kids?
I don't. I mean, they might have them in the office, but I don't.
Should I go to the office and see?
Yeah, are you still on the phone? Okay, just have your mom call to the front office and you head up there. Okay? And then Bryson, once she gets off the phone, you can call, and then once. All right, so X inches tall today. What else is important? Do you have a question, or are you going to tell me the answer? Okay.
Which equation shows Y?
Okay. All of that. All right, so what is our total? Which thing is representing our total here? Is it the X? Is it the 2? Is it the Y? Is it the 1 year? What's representing our total? Addie? Y. So Y equals our total. Can you not have it on speakerphone, child? Thank you. All right. So we know our total is Y. Can we eliminate any of our answer choices knowing that Y is going to be our answer? Can we? No, because what are all of our answers? Y. So unfortunately, that's not going to work. So we're going to have to really go through this and figure it out. All right. So if if he is X inches tall today, which equation shows Y, how tall he was 1 year ago? So what do we do? Are we adding or are we subtracting? Are we adding? Stand up if you think we're adding. Okay. Stand up if you think we're subtracting. Okay. So let's talk about subtracting since more of us said we're subtracting. Why do you guys think we're subtracting? You gotta speak up a little bit.
Since he grew 2 inches in the last year, we wanted to figure out how he was improving. Subtract it because it's the opposite. Like, okay, if grew means that he added more to his growth, and so it was the opposite of adding, subtracting. So we want to figure out how much he was actually going to subtract.
Okay, so you're saying we know he's grown 2 inches in the past year. We need to know how tall he is now, so essentially we would subtract the 2 from how tall he is now? Is that what you said? I don't know, I'm trying to understand because I was confused at what you said. Partially because I couldn't hear what you said, and the other part because I was confused.
Okay, so he grew 2 inches from how he was a year ago, right? So it's asking how tall he was a year ago. So since he grew, that would be added. So we have to subtract to figure out how much he was the year before.
Okay, so you're saying y equals something minus 2?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay. How many of you guys agree with that? I'm just asking, because I'm just trying to figure out. So essentially, we don't know how tall he is right now, though. What is representing how tall he is right now? Addie? X. So if we took, let's say he was 57 inches tall, and we subtracted 2 from it, that would give us the total of 55 inches a year ago. Does that make sense to what the information is telling us? You guys tell me. I mean, I think it makes sense, but y'all will have to take the test, not me. Do you understand why that this y equals x minus 2 is correct? Because I see a lot of weird looks on y'all's faces. Is there anybody who doesn't understand? Or we're just not going to say we don't understand. Okay. Well, D is the correct answer. All right, moving on. We're going to skip 11 and go to 12. And we're going to have more independent, dependent practice tomorrow because you will see some of those on your test. All right, so looking at number 12. Everyone at number 12? Says Maggie joins a gym. She pays a one-time registration fee and a monthly fee. This table shows the total amount of money Margie will spend after M months. So here's the number of months and the total. Technically, this is separate. Okay, so the number of months is represented by M. The total is represented by T. So month 1, she pays $50. Month 2, she pays $80. Month 3, she pays $110. So your question is, which equation can be used to determine the total amount of money T Maggie will spend on the gym after M months? What? Baby, you do whatever your mom needs you to do.
Well, she said she'll send the money up to the office.
Okay, well then go to the office. I don't know.
No, the girl might be split, but I have to give her.
Baby, I don't know. Just go. Yes.
This thing popped up and said I have to update it. Do I push cancel?
You have a question? Okay, just go. All right, so this is technically an independent dependent variable question. So it says which equation can be used to determine the total amount of money T, Maggie, or Margie will spend on the gym after M months. What's important in that first beginning part up here that we need to know? What's important?
Does she pay a one-time registration fee and a monthly fee?
So she pays a one-time registration fee and then she pays a monthly fee after that. So the one-time registration fee, is that going to be added every month? Or is that just gonna be added to the total after your months? If it's a one-time registration fee. So this is going to be the total after the month. So this is going to be added on after you figure out how many months you have been there. All right, so can we get rid of any of our answer choices? Do we know how much she pays per month? How much does she pay per month? Where does it tell us in there? No. Does it tell us how much she pays per month? So you are getting rid of these two down here. Why are we getting rid of the C and the D? Adding.
When those two, equations, it's making it seem like she pays $20 and $30 a month, but we don't know that.
Right.
So we can just
Right, and essentially, these two are saying that she's paying $20 times the month plus $20. So that means she's paying a whole lot more. Now, can we look at our table and figure out what she's paying? Probably, but that's not what it's asking us. What we do need to figure out though, if it's 20 or 30. And how do we figure that out?
You can either add or subtract, 80 minus 50 or 80 plus, no, or 1 time minus 80, either way you get 30.
Right, so essentially from here to here, you're adding 30, and from here to here, you're adding 30, correct? So then, is it plus 20 or is it plus 30? It's plus 30, so this is the correct answer. All right, and then the last one, did you pay for?
My mom paid for it online.
Okay, did you go get your pictures?
So where do you go?
Auditorium. All right, so this is gonna be the last one for today. Says Erica earns $12 per hour babysitting. The equation is, the equation 12x equals y can be used to determine how much money she earns y after working x hours. Which statement is true? So again, our equation is there. And they want to know which one of these is true. So it says the total amount of money Erica earns depends on the number of hours she works. Stand up if you think that one is true. So the total amount of money Erica earns depends on the number of hours she works. This is understanding the relationship between the X and the Y. All right, B, the number of hours Erica works depends on the amount of money she earns. Stand up if you think that is true. Okay. C, the amount of money Erica gets paid per hour is the independent variable. And then D, the amount of money Erica gets paid per hour is the dependent variable. All right, have a seat. How much does Erica earn per hour? Huh? $12. Is that ever going to change? D is not right. The amount of money she makes per hour is always going to be $12. Always. Okay? So the amount of money Erica gets paid per hour is the independent variable. Okay? Possibly. Why is it not the number of hours Erica works depends on the amount of money she earns? Why is it not that one?
Because each hour she's still in 12, so even though she stays, she's still in 12 hours.
Right, and essentially it's backwards. That one is backwards. That is saying that the amount of money determines the number of hours. That's not true. So that one is gone. So now you're left with A and C. So I'm gonna read them again. The total amount of money Erica earns depends on the number of hours she works, or the amount of money Erica gets paid per hour is the independent variable. So stand up if you think A is true. Stand up if you think C is true. Okay, have a seat. Do you remember what I said right before we started going through our answers? Somebody remember what I said about the relationship? Nobody? I love that you guys don't listen to me ever. Technically, A is the correct answer because it's talking about the relationship between the independent and the dependent variables. All right. We are going to, like I said, tomorrow we're going to go over a couple questions with tables.
Ms. B, Ms. Simon, and Ms. Andrews, please send any students who have already paid for their pictures to the auditorium. Thank you.
And then we will go over number 11 as well tomorrow. But I'm going to give you the remainder of this time right now to either work on Imagine Math, if you don't have your lessons done yet, or to work on Lexia. All right, we are not going outside anytime soon. So use this time very wisely. If you have not gotten your lessons done, you didn't get it done yesterday, you need to get them done or start working on them now.